listening to the real.
Man, I appreciate them dudes for talking about
The raw.
Wait, they were talking about
The relatable.
That's exactly what I've been going through.
The Relentlessly Real Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Let's go. Welcome back to another amazing episode of the Relentlessly Real Podcast, where we discuss real, raw, and relatable topics. I don't know why I paused there. Thank you so much for taking the time to start our podcast today. Let's kick this off with some introductions. My name is John.
My name's Mike.
And I'm running late. I'm running late, but I made it.
Literally by the skin of your teeth.
That
By the
timing.
skin of my...
I mean, he was like throwing his shirt on, throwing his hat on. He doesn't have a hat on today.
So T hit us up and was like, "Yo, I'm running late. You know, I'm gonna be extra late today. X, Y, and Z." He was like, "All right, cool. Just log in, give us a thumbs up in the text to let us know when you're gonna be, on board." And here he is, man, right on time. That's what I'm talking about. Look at God,
The bald and the beautiful. Amen. Good to see you, sir.
You better know it. You better know it.
What's going on, everybody? So listen, we are excited to join another episode. I'm excited because last time I wasn't able to host, but this time I will be able to because Terrence took over. Terrence take over last week. One day we're gonna have a Mike take over, and we're gonna let him run the show, and I'm gonna sit back and watch how that all goes down. I know it's gonna be amazing. But at the end of the day, I have a question for you guys. What is the main thing you've learned so far from your 30s to 40s? So your question today is, what is the main thing you've learned so far from your 30s to 40s? And we had to stretch that out for my boy T. But what's the main thing you've learned from your 30s to your 40s?
Well, first of all, this doesn't count for me because I'm still in my 20s, so y'all can go.
This is awkward. I don't know what to say because I know you're lying. I know you're lying.
No. What I've learned how to say no and be at peace with it. Like, it's okay to say no. And it's not any offense to anybody. I think before I find myself saying yes, not necessarily out of obligation, but out of like false sense of like love in a way. It was like, yo, like if I love you enough, I should be able to say yes this amount of times, or I should be able to say yes more often. And I had to kind of realize like it takes a level of balance, and you got to love yourself enough to say no to certain situations, to certain people, to certain events you get invited to. Love yourself enough to say no, and then also love those other people that are involved in those situations enough to be like, you know what? No, I'm not going to be fully present here if I show up and feel like I got to show up out of obligation. Like, I got to press to be there. I can't, I'm tired, this, that, and the third, but I'm still going to go. Like if I don't feel as though I'm going to fully be able to be there, then I feel as though I need to say no. So I've learned how to say no respectfully.
T.
That just to give yourself some grace, like this, you're. I mean, because I'm the only one on this who's gone through the entire 30s, and like I'm the only one. Like, so the one thing I've learned is like I'm way different than I was between 30 to 40, and I'm going to be way different between 40 to 50, and that is okay. That is perfectly okay.
Yeah.
To realize you will be ever evolving. And to be comfortable with like honestly, to be comfortable with like not meeting everybody's expectations, like respectfully, like just like I just don't like I finally got to an age where I just do not care much about your opinion, about anybody's opinion. Like, it's just, and that's it. Like, just like not even involving a lot of people to have that much power over, that's the one thing I think I've learned between 30 and 40, because it started happening through my 30s where it's like, well, I don't really care. Like, no, I still kind of care. No, I really don't care. No, but and now by the time I got the foot, oh no, I really don't give a fly. You know what? I don't give a
Yeah.
I really just don't care. Like,
and
so
do you think that happens with age, or is that
it
like
does.
you think so?
My therapist, what she does, she said my therapist, she will always talk about, they call it like a midlife crisis. There's no such thing. She says no such thing. What it is you start knowing who you really are the closer you get to 40. And you are not willing to give that up for anybody. Like you start really caring less of, and that's like, it's, oh shit, like she's dead serious. You start caring about wanting to be something different to impress anybody. You're just comfortable with who you are. And usually by the age of 40, most people can start to purchase things they always wanted, which is why they call it life crisis, whatever it was. Like I've always wanted those things, but when you were 25, early 30s, you really couldn't afford it. But by the time you get to like 40 and get to your 50s, you can actually afford it. So you end up doing it. Like, you know, and so it's just like, you start setting of who you really are, and it's just like, oh, okay, well, you don't like it? Okay, cool. I'll keep it moving.
I like the words that you said, man. You was like, being yourself and not willing to give that up for nobody. Like, I don't know. For some reason, that speaks volumes to me because, you know, with the type of environment that we're experiencing now within the world, social media, all these different influences and stuff around us, people tend to give themselves up for the likes. They give themselves up for, you know, the clout and all that other stuff. And I was just like, nah, bro, like that ain't it. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it.
Yeah, I echo. I like that word, echo. I echo Terrence's resolve that he has about himself. It's like you start to settle into who you are. You start to know, yo, I'm actually this person, and I'm okay with it. I've said many times in this podcast, I like, you know, nice things, and I like, you know, the luxury brands and all that stuff, but it does not nearly have the hold that it used to have on me in my 20s, my early 20s, especially. I could care freaking less about any of those.
I was about to say, John,
you know,
really like. I don't even think you like it that much like you used to.
I don't.
Honestly.
I don't. I truly
Like,
don't.
at all.
I if at all, I have a different sense of myself and what I like. I think the things that what I realized that I actually like was I like patterns, and I like styles. I like, you know, oh, you know, this coat, this shirt, this, that, and it can cost. Thank you, my sister's on here, but thank you. It can cost far less to look nice, right? You know, and so you kind of have an appreciation for your own value systems of what you like versus what you think other people will like. And so it's one of those things I know we've talked about before in the podcast too. It's like what you think people like versus what they actually like. So like men, I hate to crush a lot of women's I don't know, thought processes. Men actually don't like big freaking eyelashes. They don't like it. It's not that cute. It's not attractive. We don't like it. I need y'all. Well, y'all not gonna amen anything I'm saying right now.
Amen
we don't.
that. Amen.
No.
Amen again.
You know, it's okay to just let the eyelashes go. Let it all just go.
So you know what's so funny, John? I want to touch on that real quick. Here's the thing. I am thoroughly convinced that I think women dress for other women. And this is my personal opinion. I feel like men, at the end of the day, we still dress for women. Like in other words, if Mike or John say something look dope on me, like, oh, that's cool, that's great. Yeah, but oh my gosh, you know, if a female says that joint looks dope. And that's how all guys are. Like you know, yo, oh, your beard looks dope.
If you tell me I look good, I might be like, yo.
You're also, you know, questionable.
Thank you so much.
But you know what I'm saying? Like if John might say, yo, your beard looks dope, cool. But let a chick Mike or let Renee say, oh, yo, you looking. Like that's just how we are. I don't feel like women do that. I feel like women literally dress
for each other.
Either for themselves or accolades from other women feels better than it does for men.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that last part's true. That last part cannot be true. I don't think that accolades feel better. I need women to chime in. I don't think that accolades feel better from a woman than it does from a man. I don't know.
I'm trying to tell you, getting that respect for females from a female from another female, because if men were honest, like
wow, so Darlene just said, she just said it.
Yeah, because John, to echo what you were saying, John, it's not that. So yeah, sometimes the lashes look how it is because y'all go too far with it. Y'all go way too far with it.
Yeah.
The other thing is,
Hands.
not a single man on this planet is going to turn down an op because of your lashes. Like we just were like, oh, you know what? I was going bag that, but she ain't had her lashes done that day, so gotta go. Like, not one man on this planet is gonna be like, I was going bag that, but she broke a nail, and they gotta have all their nails. They like every nail gotta be on point.
That does it for me, man. That one nail.
That one nail, she broke that one nail.
This question though: if women have long nails, is there a turn off? Or if their nails are done, do you care, or you don't care if they are done at all, or do you care if they're too long?
So they got to be done.
Like if they pressing the register like this, are they doing a little, with the knuckle? But
Mike. Yes, nails got to be done, right? But hear me out though, Mike. Like, if everything else is done, hair done, she look cute, and her nails not done, whatever it was, is you gonna be like, nah, next?
No, and to your point, preface, like done as in like they gotta look clean. They gotta look good. I don't even care if you do like a little nude type situation or something. Don't have dirty nails. Just like women.
I'm asking, do y'all need nails to be polished and manicured and all that good stuff? I'm not coming for nobody with knuckle. I'm not. I'm really not.
To the point that they be spending like $200-$300 a month on it. We don't give that damn. We don't care that much. You can do it yourself, and I'll be just like, okay.
Yeah, not $200.
It looks good. It looks dope when it's done. It looks great. I'm not holding you. It does look good. I will say it does look good. But to the point where that's the deal breaker. Like I've seen it where women be like I'm not going to get my hair done, but I get my nails done, and I'm like, wait a minute, whoa, you missing. Wait, we got our priorities off a little bit. Wait a minute.
You gotta have a crown together, man. You gotta have a crown.
Like, or you got your nail hairs done and your outfit is completely busted. Like, wait, so you don't think you don't need to spend money on like the.
That's interesting that they would highlight certain things more than the other. Like I wouldn't think that the nails would matter less. I would think that'd be the last thing that would be what mattered over like the hair and the clothes.
But it's not about us. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
It's about the woman to woman compliment.
Yes.
Okay. Next question that I have for you guys on today is this. When you were all your cars, I know T had a bunch of cars. This is my last question. What is the worst car you have ever owned? What is the worst car you have ever owned?
Oh man, oh gosh. I think it's between two cars that I had. So, matter of fact, I got the worst. The worst car was my very first car. Super duper hoopty in my mind. So, Nissan Sentra 95. Yeah, 95.
Somebody on this chat is driving a Nissan Sentra right now and immediately offended.
Currently driving.
Yeah. 95 Nissan Sentra, roll down windows, no automatic, nothing.
Hold up.
Ooh.
What's up? Yeah.
You said you mean like the churning, like the
crank.
That'll save somebody's life.
Yeah, the roll down windows, right? For some reason, whoever had it before me decided to change the carpet in the car to house carpet. So it wasn't like it wasn't
house
regular
carpet?
car carpet. It was house carpet, like the fluffy house carpet, bro. I lie to you not. I was like,
yo, Mike, this is the
best. This is a bad story. I didn't know this. This is
house carpet, right?
I'm from Baltimore. I ain't never seen nothing like that before.
I wish I would have taken a picture at the time.
Anyway, you should have. Yeah.
So the car, when it rained, the car would leak on the passenger side. So it was such people like rode with me, like the floor and and everything would get wet on the right side of the car, all the way to the back of the car.
Who got that? Your mom or dad got you that car?
My dad got me that car, and I'm very proud of that because that was my first car, bro. That was my first car. Wait. There's more. So in the trunk, you can open it up and you can look directly to the ground. So this is what happened. Somebody had an old car battery sitting in the trunk, and the battery acid had been sitting back there for so long where it ate a hole through the trunk. So I could literally like open my trunk up and look down to the ground.
I just want to say sidebar real quick. Happy birthday
Yeah.
to Justin. Happy birthday, Justin. I saw he chimed on here.
Happy
Talk about
birthday, dude.
Mike's plush carpet.
Yeah.
So it's one of our
Happy
followers'
birthday,
birthdays.
bro.
So happy birthday, dude. Mike,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you,
Yeah.
Mike. I'm
That's
just
the best story I've heard, man.
This
I'm
is
serious. That was bad. I
Like,
didn't
I-
say a house carpet.
look,
That's the best
I
part.
don't think you need to tell nobody else like about this ever again.
Listen, I'm proud of that car. That was my first car, man. That was my point A to point B. I ain't care about nothing
That's
else.
not your
was
first
your
car,
point
Mike.
A
That
to
was
point-
the first car. That was the first car. Like
Yeah.
at this point,
ever made. Yeah. And it was not
The
point A to
first
point B. It was point A to point A, point 5. You did not get everywhere
It
you
got
were
me there,
supposed to
did it?
go. Okay. Go
don't
ahead,
you
T.
spill
What's
no
your-
drinks on my carpet.
what-
Just got that carpet clean.
This is alpaca.
He got-
You blocked me.
Hey, T, he got resolve in the car. He got the resolve in the car. You gotta blot it. You gotta blot. That means
You
still-
got black.
That's horrible, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm gonna pray for you and that car.
One of the
But
best
it's-
times of my life.
I had and I don't know. It's not even that the car was stupid. The decision to buy it was stupid. And that's when I bought that Trailblazer, John, the blue truck, the Trailblazer.
I remember that.
The dumbest vehicle I've ever owned in my entire life. It was so stupid.
Why was it so stupid?
And first of all, it just like my decision for getting it was because I had one child. Like one child. I decided I needed this gigantic SUV for no reason.
Oh
at all.
yeah.
And so I went from filling my gas tank up for $35 to taking $58 for no reason. It was slow.
It was
Like
slow.
it didn't have automatic start, so I had to get automatic start installed.
Okay,
like-
that's bougie.
Hold on. Yeah,
I
that
mean,
is a little bougie.
That's a bougie.
Or
From the
the
carpet
two
story to
cars-
that. From the carpet story to that, it's a lot. I don't like
the
that.
two cars I had before that both had automatic start, so it's just like
Oh,
Oh,
You
okay. You were
downgraded.
spoiled.
you
I
downgraded.
downgraded
Yeah.
it.
I hear you. My worst car is actually the car my sister used to own that she gave to me. I had a Saturn stick shift vehicle in which I will not lie to y'all. I hate to say this. I'm ashamed. I'm not gonna lie. I tried to upgrade that jump and I put a massage, the little massage chair jump. I put the little and you plug the massage. You plug it into the cigarette jump, and then it had a remote, and you could literally turn the joint on. And I got my back massage. I had my back massage in the Saturn, and I put a subwoofer in the joint. Now, mind you, this car is not big at all. It's not big at all.
I remember the Saturn.
You used to push that Saturn.
I
like-
pushed the crap out of that Saturn, and the roof kept falling down on the back passengers. So whoever's sitting in the back, the roof just
I
kept.
hold up
and so
there.
we had to put gray duct tape across the back, right? And I was just like, listen, I'm gonna make this car work. It's a tie between that car and I had a white Camry. I forget the year it was, and that car also was awful. So both of those cars for me were horrible. But the green Saturn, it was the one my sister used to have. But hey, it taught me how to drive stick shift. And I didn't burn a clutch out.
You said it right. It taught you how to drive shit. You said
I wasn't gonna say that. I wasn't gonna say that. So Terrence does not have the next flick and chill, I don't think, but I actually have it for today.
Oh.
Today I have the next flick and chill, and the one I want to introduce is it's called.
it better be good.
It's on Hulu, and I hope it's good. I don't even know if I hope you approve, Terrence. It's on Hulu. It's called Reboot, where they do basically like a whole like parody, right? Where they kind of have this conversation, like they're doing a show of a show. It's so weird because it's like they're in a show, but they're also like doing their own acting within the show as well. So it's like they're trying to like, but it's comedic, right? So the guy from God, I forget his name. That guy, I forget. What's his name?
Key and Peele.
From Key and Peele. Is it Key from Key and Peele? Okay, so Key from Key and Peele. He's hilarious throughout the job. I mean, it's a funny parody. It has moments that are very comedic. It has moments that are funny and dramatic or whatever as well. And it has. I just like the writing. It reminds me a little bit of Modern Family, a little bit, but it's not as funny as Modern Family. Right. So it has a little bit of the dry humor. You'll kind of chuckle here and there. but it has more of a better storyline throughout, right? Where it's a seasonal, type thing. So it does see. Oh, I didn't know it was co-created from Modern Family.
Well, look at
so
that.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Look at God. I didn't even know that. And look how it all makes sense. No, but really, it's really a good show. And if you are not checked it out yet, it's called Reboots on Hulu, and it's pretty.
You know what? I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah,
today.
I'm gonna check that out too.
You haven't.
You haven't
yet.
Today.
You haven't yet.
I haven't
Okay,
seen
good.
it. But that's Johnny Knoxville from Jackass.
Yes. I remember that's him. And so when I saw it, I was like, man, this is actually a really funny, good show. So I was like, man, I don't know if Terrence saw it yet, and I don't know if I can even steal his segment, but I am going to do it, and I did it. Next Look at Chill reboot. It's on Hulu. Okay?
So you said okay. And I am a Keith fan. I don't know Michael Keegan. I think his name is Michael Keegan. Something like that. I actually am a fan of his. I don't know why I think he's because he's corny funny, but he's funny to me.
He's
even though he's
funny.
Corny funny.
He's always on.
That joint on Netflix with him was what I was so mad they canceled that show. Friends from College.
Sure.
I was just about to mention that. I was just about to mention
good. I didn't know they canceled it though.
Yeah, it was just 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing. It was amazing.
It was really good. You got us hooked on that one. So that
was a good show. Friends with College is good. So I do like his. I like his stuff. So
all right.
Yeah, good job, John.
Thank
you guys.
Netflix.
Somebody don't like nothing. I mean,
I don't like anything.
Mike, even him giving it a compliment, he still don't like it. He says it's like Modern Family, but it's nowhere near as funny. Actually, I don't
Modern
like it at all.
Check it out.
Here's what I don't want to happen. When people come back next week, like, yo, you said something about reboot and it was trash. I don't want that to happen to me. I want y'all to know, lower your expectations. It's not Modern Family level, but it's pretty freaking good in my opinion. Okay, it's right there in the middle. All right.
So it's
next segment we're gonna have is Mike is gonna hit us with the Humble Hump Day. Mike, hit it.
All right, so here we go. Humble Hump Day, y'all. So speaking of Netflix and all that other stuff, I don't know if y'all heard, but Netflix is about to start pushing this whole no longer, allowing you to share your passwords for free. That's right. They about to start pushing. They've already started doing this within certain countries like Argentina Argentina, I think is Dominican Republic, and El Salvador. It's a couple of other places that are incorporating this, right? So basically what's happening is the different options that you have in Netflix to be able to do different profiles underneath one account. Mm-hmm. You're no longer going to be able to do that. So correction, you're going to be able to do it, but it's going to cost you for each one that you add. Yeah. So before you could have one account and you could have multiple profiles underneath of it. Now each profile is going to be its separate home, and each profile is going to cost you an extra $2 and some change just to have that type of access. So man, I don't know what's more.
Will there be a mass exodus? You think? I'm about to say, let me go ahead and cancel my. You think people are going to cancel?
And that's what I was getting to. I don't know what's more humbling: the fact that Netflix might potentially lose their customer base, or more humbling of getting that phone call from somebody to say, "Hey man, did you change your password?" Imagine getting a phone call from your best friend. And he's like, "Hey man, how you doing?" "Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I was about to log into Netflix and did you change your password?" "Oh yeah, man. Netflix is tripping."
I don't have any friends like that, Mike. I'm not going to lie to you. If somebody hits me up, if somebody has the balls to hit me up and has a job and ask me if I change my password, I'm gonna be real hot with them. Why? First of all, why are you even using my password still? You have a job.
This is an agreement that we had a long time. Imagine being friends with college. That with nobody. Right? Friends with college, you had the same password since college. Yeah,
I'm about to say,
Netflix is $21. Isn't it I pay $21. Check.
Nah, it's not 21.
It's
mine was 21.
It's 15 or some change.
It's 15. It's 15.
Yours is 21.
Yeah, I think I got that little 4K.
They've been already charging you
because I got that little 4K, the little bonus.
Oh, you got 4K. Okay, so you got money. Okay, Jay-Z, thank you for tuning into Relentlessly Real Podcast. We appreciate that.
Meanwhile, John, you firmly have a 4K TV and ain't watching none of the content in 4K.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
You said,
And yes,
old
Kalina,
lady.
if you have any,
What is this? What is this 4K?
every
What is-
password is being
what-
changed.
What is this
Every password
1080p?
being.
Yeah,
I don't need
actually,
to
I'm
see
about
it
to
in
go.
HD.
Yeah, I'm about to go watch. What's a new Netflix show? I'm about to go watch Modern Family or whatever the case. You be easy, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Just you're gonna be done. It is what it is.
It's
So,
not happening.
but I think it's going to be a humbling situation for Netflix because there are other streaming services out here now, like even Paramount. You know what I'm saying? Like Paramount movie
Everybody
production,
has
they have their own Hulu. You know, all Disney Plus, all these different things, and then people are having like different or different companies are having different packages with the streaming
HBO has some good
services, right?
content. I ain't gonna lie.
They do.
HBO
And
has
even
some
like the
good
old school
content.
stuff, like you talk about
Yeah.
Martin and like the Wayans brothers. I've been
Fresh
watching that
Prince,
stuff
like-
like since I got it. So the fact that they have all these other incentives, I think Netflix is trying to find a way to get more income because they might be losing it at this point.
They might lose everybody. You do this black community is gonna be gone. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You do this, you have lost most of us. We are done. We've been sharing with everybody, co-sharing. Everybody been in each other's Netflix account all the time.
People who I don't know got my Netflix account. Like, how'd you get it? Oh, I got it from your cousin. You didn't give it to your cousin? I gave it to my cousin.
Yeah,
I don't know you,
have
sir.
to-
I don't know you, sir.
Right.
Oh,
and
I'm
that's why
Tony.
yours is $21.
That's why
yours
my
is
$21. About to be $41, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
So it sounds like the verdict is out that Netflix needs to go ahead and be humble and sit down on this one because if they keep it up, they gonna
They
lose their
make so
customer
much
base.
money.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary, but let's be clear, inflation has never been as high as it's been right now, 8 and 9%.
Facts.
It's unprecedented, the numbers that are happening. I'm not trying to bring the show down at all, but I just want to be real about that. And so some unprecedented times are ahead. If you want to enjoy entertainment on Netflix, you're going to have to pay them. Pay me my money. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
And
period.
Netflix did get us through an entire pandemic. Let's be very clear.
They did.
They did.
Like,
Except for zero F's given. Except for that, I love Kevin Hart, but man, did he piss on comedy when he put that thing out there? I said, "What?"
But
are you
Dave
doing?"
Chappelle's made up for it. So, like,
It did.
Was it Sticks and Stones?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. I still to this day go back and laugh as if I never heard a joke before. I said, "This is ridiculous. This guy's this good. He's that good."
Gosh. Yeah, Netflix definitely paved the way for us in the pandemic, man. When it comes down to like streaming services and all that,
You know how many
and
shows
for other
people
companies.
binged?
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
know how many shows people binged during the pandemic? I got through an entire Game of Thrones. But now that was on Netflix, but in general, because of the pandemic. Like, I got through, like, binged. I would have never watched this show, but I'm home. So,
Speaking of a live TV show, Yay has been having a terrible October. As of even 2 hours ago, Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, was escorted out of Los Angeles office of shoemaker Skechers. The company said Wednesday afternoon as the fallen rapper, fashion mogul, continues to face fallout from his recent remarks. Ye showed up unannounced and was escorted out of the building by two executives. The company said Ye was officially changed his name to Kanye West. Skechers is not considering and has no intention of working with West. We condemn his recent divisive remarks and do not tolerate anti-Semitism of any other form of hate speech. In addition to what you gotta say about it?
I ain't gonna hold
What
you.
you gotta say?
Yo.
Hold on. T, you gotta wait. T,
let him finish. Let him finish.
Let me finish setting this up before you go off on your boy, okay? And in addition to that, Kanye West is no longer a billionaire. He said on Drink Champs that he was one of the richest people ever alive, black person ever alive. Ye's place on the Forbes billionaires list has been revoked. Now that his deal with Adidas is over, here's a breakdown of every brand. Today, Adidas released a statement saying Adidas does not tolerate anti-Semitism and any other sort of hate speech. I'm gonna keep moving. Adidas is the sole owner of all design rights to existing products, as well as previous and new colorways under the partnership. On Monday, CAA announced that they have dropped Kanye West as a client. This is him talking on Drink Champ.
I could literally say anti-Semitic shit and they can't drop me. I could say anti-Semitic things and Adidas can drop me. Now what?
And in addition to that, MRC Studio executives Marty, whoever that name is, and Scott Tinley also shared that a completed documentary on Ye has been shelved. Vogue editor Anna Wintour gave a statement saying that no intention to work with Ye in the future. Balenciaga also. Forbes estimates that without the Adidas deal, Ye's net worth has fallen from over billions of dollars to just 400 million, which comes from his music catalog, real estate, and his 5% stake in Kim Kardashian Skims. Forbes valued his Adidas deal as adding 0.5 billion to his net worth. Now, what say you gentlemen?
About out of everything that happened out of that, yo, Skechers.
I was about to say,
yo,
I kicked out of Skechers.
You can't even, yo, you are one of the greatest hip hop artists of all time. And Skechers,
get out.
Which,
get out.
Like Skechers said, we can't even trust you to sell our product. Like, hey, yo,
and we haven't sold products in years, and we still can't trust you.
we have had the same shoe for 30 years. No commercials.
We've been selling people on comfort for the past 30 years, and you still can't help us.
Bruh, we don't.
It's
yo,
bad.
Kanye,
it's bad.
That's the L. That's the L right there.
You have reached the bottom for sure.
Bruh.
So so Kanye has said a lot. He said a lot on Drink Champs, and it's been very questionable for him as of late. Let me ask this question. Do you think Jay-Z would have had the backlash that Ye has had if he made those comments?
But so let me just say two things about that. Number one, because I just saw the headlines about the anti-Semitic thing. Is that what he said? Is that all he said? Or did he say something anti-Semitic is what I'm saying?
Hold on.
He says it's going to be DEFCON 3. He tweeted it's going to be DEFCON 3 on the Jews or something like that on Twitter.
I'm really not hip, so this is good. I'm really not hip to what he said.
Yeah, he also was on Drink Champs, and he went in on the Jewish community in general. I didn't watch. It was like a 4-hour interview. I was like, I'm not sitting through this, but I sat through the first hour trying to get some information about what he was all over the place, as typical Ye is in this season of his life. And he did say things about Jews, but the thing about it is so this is what is killing me about Ye. Some of the things he's saying is coming across like, yeah, he crazy, but how much of the stuff is he saying is true though? Like when he started talking about the ownership of like the Jews own all major things. They own everything. Like literally the music business, the clothing business, everything. They just took over, and he was airing it all out on the podcast. And was saying how it's crazy how that happens. And he was, like I said, he was all over the place. So I don't even want to go into all the statements that he made. But one of the things he did say was like, yo, talking to somebody that was a Jewish person, they were saying, hey, yeah, you should visit the Holocaust. And then Ye was like, you should visit Planned Parenthood. That's our Holocaust. You know what I'm saying? Like he's trying to like be this super deep, I'm fighting for our people type energy. But also was airing out like how the Jews own a lot of things. And so it made me kind of question this, similar to how the Black Lives Matter thing was a thing. Remember when everybody was aligning, we stand with Black Lives Matter, and you couldn't really understand whether they really were standing with Black Lives Matter or if they were just trying to posture themselves to stand with people because they knew if they didn't, that would mess their bag up. So everybody's leaving Ye, I believe at this point, yeah, he was airing people out, airing the Jewish community out. But how much of that too was because he was putting truths out, or was it because he was, like just doing a whole lot and people was like, yo, I don't want you to touch our bag because it costs us more for you to be out there saying all you're saying than it does, and to be connected to you.
Absolutely, I'm not losing my bag for you. Like, I mean,
Adidas, that was a 10% deal of Adidas, and so. Their value is definitely going to go down.
It don't matter. The cost of this is a CYA.
Yeah,
it's a CYA. It's a CYA industry. I can't and my thing is, out of all the stuff Kanye has said, and this is my opinion, like I'm never going to say anything anti-Semitic. I'm just not going to do it because of my profession, because of my beliefs. I will say that Kanye has said worse things. He has said worse things. He has done worse things that he should have been dropped a long time ago for. And so the issue I always have is you by default you elevate to me. This is how I see it. And I hope I'm coming across right. When you drop him for this, that says to me all the other stuff is not as important as this particular race. Yeah. So by doing that, you also are committing. You are letting black people know, homosexuals, like all these other races and all these other where they know where they stand. We won't drop him when he speaks out against you, but if he says this against this particular group, they are sacred, and so therefore we gotta go. And that's the issue I have with it, because literally what he said about George Floyd, like that whole incident, the lie he told. Alone.
He said that, just so y'all know, he said that he didn't die from the police officer's knee being on his neck.
He died from yes, and first of all, it was just
drugs, I think, or something.
Yeah, a flat out lie. And so my point is, a lot of these labels who claim to be Black Lives Matter, if you were all about Black Lives Matter when he said that, you should have dropped him. But you ain't really Black Lives Matter. You're full of.
Yeah, before that, did he have White Lives Matter on?
Yeah, you should have dropped him.
Candace Owens.
You should have dropped him. You should, if you really care about, if you really care about the black cause, you should have dropped him. But you didn't. Yeah. But the moment he says this, so John, you're absolutely right. They only care about what's going to cause me to lose the most money. And when you do this, that's it, because they know. That's the one group they are sacred. You cannot touch them.
So at this point, like to your point, it's like with him highlighting these things about the Jewish community, like what is that really saying? The fact that they dropped them, what is it really saying? Like I hear you as far as like making them important, but what is it behind that? Like why is it this thing that causes them to be able to drop Kanye? I'm curious about that.
I believe it's because the Jewish community does have a stronger hold than he even could say or speak against. I think that they are that wealthy and have that much of a backing that if they did not respond quickly and honestly, the culture we live in now is not like it's uncommon. Everyone backs away from the person that says the most craziest things because everybody's trying to protect their bag. It's not like it's unheard of. Yeah. So that's just, this has happened all before, but I don't know why Ye,
I'm not like capitalism and business and stuff like that.
I don't know why Ye felt so, right. I don't know why Ye felt so comfortable saying these things. I mean, I don't want to make too much of Ye because I know he's not fully there. I don't believe he is, but I'm just saying that between that and drinking on Drink Champs, which kind of rose a whole other thing that happened right after the Drink Champs interview, which is like N-O-R-E or Nori. Yeah. He basically like sucks as far as like representation because he basically aired out his own boy. Yeah. Through what he did.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, do you really love Ye? That was kind of the energy that came from that podcast. So not to spend too much time on Ye at all, but I just was like, I thought it's been interesting that he's been getting such a backlash and that people have been kind of like, he's getting canceled and has lost 600 million according to like
days.
In days. Like that's unreal. I mean, literally unreal. So not to make too much of him, but that was a big deal. Last thing before we get into the main topic, Brittany Griner sentenced to 9 years, guys. 9 years in prison in Russia.
She began a sentence, yeah.
She's beginning a sentence. So Brittany Griner will enter a system of isolation, grueling labor, and psychological torment when she is transferred to a penal colony, the successor to the infamous Russian Gulag, to fulfill a 9-year sentence handed down in Moscow on Tuesday. Conditions in prison and detention centers varied, but were often harsh and life-threatening. Overcrowding, abuse by guards and inmates, limited access to healthcare, food shortages, and inadequate sanitation were common in prisons, penal colonies, and other detention facilities. So basically, she got 9 years. The question that I have for you guys about this particular topic is this, and it's kind of the same as what I said with the Ye thing. If it was Stephen Curry or LeBron James, would she have gotten as long as a situation? Would this have been as long as it's been?
Yes.
Like, basically.
I think it wouldn't matter. It'd have been longer.
Oh. Yeah. And the reason why I say that, we got to think about like the highlight of everything that was happening around that time with stuff that's, was going on with Ukraine and Russia. And then you know, the UN and United States getting involved with that, I think this was a good opportunity for Russia to be able to make a point. It's so sad that she has to go through this though, man. Like anybody, 9 years, okay. As much as social media, as much as movies and things like that portray Russian jails and stuff like that, I can only imagine what it's really like. And I think even if I'm basing it just off of entertainment, bro, I don't want nobody to go through that. Like,
no.
And 9 years of it?
For 9 years. Yeah, I'm about to say 9 years.
That's like 2 life sentences in America. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
her, I mean, just like her career too. Like she was at that peak.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I truly do feel for her life though. Like legit.
To answer John's question, now what I would say is, do you think America would be willing to have because what Russia really wants is a prisoner swap. And so the issue is, would the American government have done the prisoner swap if it was a LeBron James, a Stephen Curry, or whatever it was? And to that I say yes. Brittany Griner does not bring in enough money and enough. She does not bring in enough, being a WNBA player, enough attention that a LeBron James or someone else, an NFL player, like whatever it was. Oh, and don't let it have been Tom Brady. Oh my God!
Oh,
don't let it have been Tom Brady.
Not Tom.
They would have invaded the same day. They would have been invading the same day.
Right.
Yeah. I think the sentence would have been worse.
Bringing him out.
Yes. I think the sentence would have been worse, but I think America would do more, for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's an incredible thought. I think she's 32 years old. So in 9 years she'll be 41. She'll
end up serving 8. I know they said that she'll end up only serving 8 because they're going to get granted for time served. Isn't that so nice? Look at Russia being so like compassionate.
Nah, man, that's a tough one.
That's a real tough one. I feel bad.
You need to keep her family, everybody in prayer, man, because I can only imagine what that's.
And
like.
She's like, people understand is that culture. There's so many things that they are against that Britney represents. They are definitely strongly against homosexuality. They're definitely strongly against female dominance. They're definitely like strongly against. They're very racist. So she like makes sense though. So everything she represents, they're like
No, it's tough. It's very tough. So the main topic today, guys, is are you feeding my visual appetite? And the reason we wanted to bring this up was because we wanted to actually ask the question from a framework of not just women or men, women to men or men to women. Like we didn't want to do one stance more than the other. Like we didn't normally on this podcast, we've been told that we may come across as like, oh, men are, this way and that way, and women are that way. And to this topic, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, not maybe the opinion of the other guys, men are more visual, in my personal opinion. I think men are more about the aesthetics than women are. I think women, and I think some of the studies will back up to a certain degree that, women are less, they care less a little bit about that and more so about the like emotional attachment to the person or whatever like that. But men, from the jump, we are like, from break, we like, yo, what do you look like? What do you look like? And of course there's attraction. I'm not talking about attraction. I'm talking about like literally what holds a man for the most part. So this idea of, are you feeding my visual appetite? The question I really have for that is this: is it a thing? Obviously, when you're married or dating, is it a thing of like, yo, can somebody, and I say a spouse, but can somebody get too comfortable? Because it's the issue of trying to be comfortable versus looking visually appealing, and those two things combating against each other. Me as a woman saying I want to be comfortable, and I'm just saying that because I'm a man, a heterosexual man, of course. Me as a woman, I want to be comfortable. Shut your mouth, Terrence. I want to be comfortable. I want to be comfortable in my clothing. I want to relax. I want to look like I want to. I'm allowing myself to like really sit in this moment of being so comfortable that I don't have to dress up, or I don't have to look cute. I don't have to be this, and I don't have to be that for you, because we're in this space now of comfort in our marriage or in our dating relationship or whatever. Yeah. And versus this idea of like, nah, you need to like keep it up because I want to see this and I want to see that. Like, what say y'all about this idea of back and forth between that duality, if you will?
Yeah. Y'all. I think we getting trolled.
We are. Well, they need to comment about the topic then.
Yeah, come on now.
Like,
Anyway,
don't.
but what I think about is a situation that actually happened today. Coworker of mine, well, a bunch of me and a bunch of coworkers, we're doing a push-up challenge at work, right? So every hour we'll do 20 push-ups. And a couple of guys are in it. Even some women are in on it as well. But the one guy, he had mentioned, and he's kind of heavy set, right? And he had mentioned, he was like, "Hey man, I'm already married. My push-up days is over. I did that, back when I was in my 20s, blah, blah, blah. Already got her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Already bagged her. So I'm good." And I mentioned this because, even though he said it jokingly, I mean, he clearly was not in on the push-up situation at all, right?
Yeah.
But it strikes that thought process of like, man, once you have crossed this threshold, if you will, of like putting a ring on it, it's like you feel like you locked in and everything's good. I don't have to do as much to be able to keep up this visual appeal or whatever the case. This person should love me for who I am. That's why they married me, right? But
Right.
In all actuality, and I don't know, I don't believe it's a men versus women or whatever like that. It all depends on your preference. So if you are visually like enticed by something, first of all, whenever we're dating, the first thing we're going to see is visual, right? Like it's not always a, hey, I'm looking at your profile and I'm pleased off of your profile. If we're out in public, before social media, before all those different things, we out in public or whatever, it depends on how we're physically dressed, like how what we have on, how we have our hair done, how we present ourselves physically. Those are the things that kind of draw people in. So with that in mind, even after the bag is won, or like when you got a ring on it or whatever the case, it's like, yo, like what are you doing to keep that relationship lively? You know what I'm saying? Like what are you doing to keep yourself attractive to that person? Yeah, it's more to it than just looks, but I mean that matters in my opinion. Like we were just talking about the whole like getting your nails done versus the eyelashes and all that other stuff, what we feel as though is more important than the other. But I mean, at some point in time, it's still got an importance to it, man. It matters to me. It matters at the end of the day.
And I'm also thinking back to, I mean, Terrence, you can jump in whenever, but I'm also thinking back to when I had like my parents. I'm like, not to go to any dark place in my life, because I'm like, I don't know if my parents ever really did stuff like this. Like you kind of like look at your parents like they never cared about like how they look. They just were parents. They just like they just made sure we were fed and clothed. They just
They don't do that stuff.
They don't do that nasty stuff. They didn't make us, right? But I don't think I don't right. And so please, I want to eat again this week. And so, but whole time like I never saw my moms or nothing like or whatever just off the no event just be looking fly for my dad, right? Like like that I could think of in my mind, like you know what I mean. So I'm just wondering too, like how much of this is also like learned behavior, like where it's just like, yo, you're supposed to be comfortable at home. You're supposed to just be like, this is where you let your hair down and you go out to look like once you switch over from dating to marriage, you go out to look good for people when just as presentable. But when you get back home, it's not as serious or it doesn't matter as much.
You see, Kalina?
That's why I went dark. I said, you know what? I don't want to
suits. It was a church suits, John.
So,
that's what got my dad looking.
Yeah. I've heard that pushback from women too. Like, will be like, like he want me to like look good for him, but he don't take me nowhere. So like, 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 so it's like, yeah, I'm comfortable because we don't do anything. So, and I mean, which I do think that's good feedback. I do think. I mean, so I got a little bit of push though, like a little bit. I ain't gonna. So I think this is a very new belief of mine.
As of today, you mean?
As of like, I would say the past month and a half. Because when I started really thinking about this, I think men are more visual when it comes to intimacy. And so let me see what I mean when I say with us, and I'm just speaking for me and maybe on behalf of all other men in the world. It don't matter how much I can be in love with you. And I think I do think with me being in love with you, and physical intimacy is better. However, it is better. I would always say intimate moments that I've had with with my wife, especially like it's better because of how I felt, right? How I felt. However, I will say how I feel alone does not start me to like I don't. Oh, I love her so much.
I got to have her.
I got to.
I don't like this voice.
I'm just saying, like we don't. I don't think a lot of men. I don't think a lot of women understand that emotional connection of alone does not guide us there. Like you can't you coming home and cleaning the house or making a meal. You know what? I'm all of a sudden I'm horny. Like like it don't. For us, it literally is. You could have done none of those things today. You could have actually ticked me off, but came out that shower, hair dripping wet, t-shirt, the right push-up bra, and it's I can't stand you right now, but I am ready to go. That moment is literally purely physical for us, despite how we feel, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think with women, I do think that women actually are more physical because I think that women are pickier than men when they with choosing somebody. I don't think they're physical as far as beginning intimacy. I think there's more things to take from there. But when you break this, let me break down my argument. When you break down, think about all the things that a woman will say. Like think about your single friends, whatever. All the reasons they gave of why I didn't pick him. He's too short. He got dirty nails. He's this. Well, I mean, he had this thing on his neck. He had marks on his face.
He's too soft.
He's soft. I think women can be very physical from the jump. Like you won't even be allowed to come in the vicinity. And I don't think at its core, I think men are not like we could be. I don't think that we are as picky as far as it's a no. Like if when we meet a woman, like we'll be like, yeah, these, but you know what? I like this, so I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna still give her a shot. I'm gonna hang out, and then after that point, we might even forget about it. Like I don't think that a lot of women I firmly believe a lot of women right now are single because some of them are really picky, physically picky, like really picky, and like we have these, and so they can't even get over to give a guy a shot. Makes sense, and so I'm not talking about standards.
Is it picky or is it standards?
I'm not talking about standards. You like what you like. You like I get it. You like what you like. I'm not knocking at that. But I think some of these joints are like, listen, I'm not gonna be like, are we all? No, the other thing is, are we as a human beings, men or women? Because I'm not gonna preference the one particular group. John, you know what I'm about to say. Yeah, that's why he's smiling. Are we always dating?
I am worried too. I was like, oh God.
Are we as a person dating in our level of attraction? Are you interested in your level of attraction and your level of effort in your appearance? Let me just say that. I'm not even talking about the attraction. Are we always dating with the level of effort in our own appearance? And that's important because I feel like a lot of times, like, if you know you don't go out and get if you know you don't go out and get your hair like lined up, you dress bummy 24/7. You like, what you shooting your shot at this girl who got her hair done, nails done, everything? Like why? That's no.
All I date is baddies, but you know what I'm saying. Your hair,
sir, you're not.
Looking like
you
Don
are not.
And you know what I'm saying. Your clothes ain't looking right or whatever the case. You know how I see your point.
That's my point.
Yeah.
I don't think the guys have to do that though. I honestly, no.
I
think a guy that has game doesn't need to have nice like every.
He needs to have money.
I don't know about money. I'm just saying
he needs to have money, John.
I'm not saying not money. I'm saying you made the point of looking disheveled and not as like well to put together, whatever. Like like your hair ain't this and your clothes ain't that. I actually think that women, here's what I think. If you make a woman laugh, that's 80% of the battle.
John, I'm assure you that, and I want some women to comment. I don't care how funny you are. If you look like Flavor Flav and you don't have Flavor Flav's money, you do not have a shot.
I agree.
You gave the worst example. You gave the worst example person of
I'm just saying.
Like,
I think looks matter.
Fair.
It was a very fitting example.
I think it's a fair example.
All I'm saying is, my main point. I don't know how we got on it, but my main point is when you're talking about women,
she gonna laugh and walk away. You're funny.
Nah, women. No, I know a lot of women. A lot of times, if you can make them laugh, that gets their attention, even if they're not attracted to you.
It does, but that don't mean they'll date you.
No, I'm not. I mean, but you have to start somewhere. Like I'm not. You got to start.
No,
somewhere.
I think women know from the jump.
That's what I'm saying. Date them or not?
I'm trying to tell you. I think we give. Okay. I think we think women. I think sometimes, and I'm guilty of this too. I think that we used to think that women aren't just because they aren't as physical. I think looks matter. Like I think, and as a matter of fact, I'm telling you, I think that looks for women really matter initially more than it does for us. I think they really do.
I don't know about that. I don't know about more.
I don't know. I think, like I said, I think women are more picky than us.
I see your point as far as like you feel as though women are like have their physical opinions or standards, right? You know what I'm saying? John, you had just mentioned standards as far as like towards men or whatever.
They got more standards. So that means they have more standards, which means, and they have more physical standards than us, which means they're more physical. Because they have more physical standards.
Like they have more standards or more checks on the box than we do. So, for instance, I think you might have mentioned it already as far as like, the nails thing, having your nails done a certain way versus, hair done. And I'm talking about men, if I'm attracted to a certain woman or whatever like that, I'm not going to be as pressed for her nails and stuff to be like done up, from the cuticles all the way to the whatever, what I'm saying, all the different colors, length, all that other stuff. I'm not going to be as pressed about that as if, hey, I prefer for her hair to be done at least, or like to have on a decent outfit, don't have stuff just kind of hanging all over the place, looking bummy or whatever the case, right?
Can her teeth not be straight and you still talk to her? Let me ask it like this: if she looks amazing in the face and has nice nails and all that, has her eyebrow, whatever, all that done.
Why you gotta go?
that was her eyelashes
waving,
her lashes waving at you.
Yeah.
But if her teeth aren't good, can you look past if everything else is right?
Nah, I used to be able to look past that because I've dated people in the past where it's like, yo, like to me they were gorgeous, but like as soon as they smile, I'd be like, God, dog, okay. But I think I could work with that because she was looking right in all the other places. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying?
I don't think women can. I'm going back to the word. I don't think women can. I don't think women. I'm trying to hold you. I don't think women. I think at that point, immediately it's like, nah. Immediately.
Smile.
Your grill mess up, like you missing. Like, do you got all your teeth?
I agree with T. I agree. I think on both sides actually. I think if I don't know dudes that will talk to a chick that don't have good teeth.
I don't. Be a little bit cute.
Don't got all her teeth. He don't got all his teeth.
Like, yeah, like, I'm saying that's a problem. That's a deal breaker. In 90% of the situations, I think.
But, all right, so going further, right? So going really back to like John, like your question. So I think in relationships, I think what you're speaking to, which I think is important, I think is effort. I always say like the effort. Like to me, everything lives and dies with effort. And I think as we both sides. As we get deeper into a relationship, effort starts to dwindle, and we get comfortable. 100%. We get 100%. Comfortable, and I think sometimes you can get comfortable. Men too are guilty, but if men are more physical, I do think effort is extremely important. And what I hate sometimes is I hate when people try to make it seem like that's shallow. That's not shallow though. I don't think that that's shallow. I think that like him
Hold on,
caring about
you
how
don't
you
think
look,
what's shadow? I'm sorry.
about
Like
someone
physical
losing
affection.
interest because of how you look.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that that's shallow. I think
Mm.
because I don't. So looks cannot sustain a relationship. Let me be very clear.
Yeah.
Looks cannot sustain a relationship. So I'm not talking about how you look. What I am talking about is the effort that you put into your looks speaks volumes about you caring about what interests your partner.
So that kind of goes back to
I
what you
get
were
that.
saying earlier about like use the example of women being in a house and not wanting to dress like anything because you don't take me nowhere. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that effort can be on the other end, right? Say
For
if it's a
sure,
guy and a woman,
100%.
yeah, the guy doesn't take the woman out.
And he
So
used
that's
to.
and he
Like
used to.
imagine
So
like he
now there's a
used
lack of
to.
effort, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I get what you're saying as far as that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, effort
I
goes a
mean,
long
because
way.
and Mike, I think I mean, and this may not go to visual appetite, but this goes to appetite in general, which I think it relates. I think a lot of feedback that men would get from women is like when we first got together, you were all romantic, you were all this, you put a lot of effort, and you don't do that anymore. And what I hate is, and when a woman says that, and I'm being very specific here for a reason, when a woman says that, everybody's understanding. Oh, you're right. So he's not consistent. His effort is like his effort. But when a guy says, okay, true, when we first got together, you used to make sure you got your hair done. You used to make sure
Yeah.
you did this and
Yeah.
this and that. And people are like, well, it's the equivalent. It's the equivalent of what pleases your partner. And and I think you don't have the right, or you have the audacity to devalue that, because like I don't like that. I think it is the same level. It is the same level of it's important. It is just as important. I don't think any one of them is more important, and we try to make one more important, and they are equally important. You know?
Yeah. So going through this conversation and kind of helped me go through this thought process of how, I came to, marrying Renee, and even like in my physical like appearance preference that I had for women in general that I was dating, it's like, yo, what's your natural beauty look like? Right? Like what's your natural, like without the lashes, without, all the makeup and stuff like that. That need to, if anything, your natural beauty needs to be to a certain point where like if you wake up in the morning, I can stand to look at you type thing. And so I could look over, smile, and be like, yeah, okay, yeah, we could do this. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because that in the long run, that saves me the hurt of like, hey, or she always got to have makeup on in order for me to like be physically attracted to her. She always got to have her hair done. She always got to have this, that, and the third done physically, in order for like that standard to be met, to meet whatever standard that I have. So if I kind of meet it halfway, where like, hey, I prefer like the natural beauty, so you ain't got to worry about meeting these upper echelon standards of getting your nails and your makeup done and your hair done all the time to keep that look up, then I think that's a good happy medium, in my opinion.
I hear what you're saying. I like a lot of what T was saying about the effort. I think you're talking about it too. I think effort is important in every aspect of what you're talking about. Whether you're talking about on the guy's side or the woman's side. And I do agree there's a double standard, right? There where if a guy falls off, it's like, oh yeah, he's not consistent. If a woman falls off, yeah, but she had kids and she's this, we'll do there'll be a lot of excuses behind the fall off of a woman versus a man. And I get that. That's just the way that's the way this planet is. It's trash in that way. But what we're talking about when we're talking about feeding the visual appetite too is like, yo, to a certain degree, in my opinion, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, and we can almost wrap here, but yo, can men fall off more than women when it comes to visual appetite?
Absolutely.
And that is one of the things I know I've thought of when we talked about this topic. Is like women, do fall off sometimes in dating and relationships, whatever, but men can fall off harder, if that's even a better way of saying it, because it's almost like they can. It's almost like this because, and I don't know if it has to, like, if it lends itself into the idea of there are more women that want to be with men than there are men that want to be with women. I don't know if that's the reason, but I'm just saying,
like
I
the
think-
ideology, like doesn't
the
make
ideology
sense.
behind, like, I don't have to work as hard because I know I'm
my
good
numbers
no matter
already
what.
right anyway.
But
I'm
again,
good, like,
I think that the woman, I think that example only works if the reason the woman is not there, if it has nothing to do with how you look physically. Let's be clear. I don't think Beyonce finds Jay-Z like that. It's not it.
Wow,
It's not.
You
I'm
got
just
very
being honest.
specific.
I'm just being honest. I agree that to your point, I think what Jay-Z was like. I want people to understand the magnitude of scope of who Beyonce was when she met Jay-Z. Right? She was famous, not nowhere near as famous as she was right now. She was barely an adult. She had lived life like in the public eyes at the age of 14. She had very little romantic experiences, if any. Makes sense, if any.
On her, like, what's going on?
No, I'm just saying, like, because I want you to put your mindset.
Absolutely.
She was.
I read the article.
Destiny's Child came out. She was 14 years old.
Yeah.
You know what makes sense? And so when she met Jay-Z, she was like barely 21, like she was barely an adult. You know what I'm saying? And so like I'm putting in mindset of who she was at that time. She had no life experience of dating multiple men. She had no experiences of being like legitimately like wine and dine, but she didn't have any of that. She had her focus had been on the career, makes sense, and whatever it was. So when Jay-Z comes around, he is literally well established on his, you know what I'm saying? Like he's on his, like he's already gone through of being, if he was a horrible guy, he already had been through being a horrible guy. At this point, he knows exactly what it takes to please a woman. And when he approached her, he had the money, the charm, the charisma, the character to literally, it's the same reason why older men date younger women, because you can really wow them. Like you can really wow them because you are more experienced than they are. And you have acquired more. It's very attractive. And so what I'm saying is, I agree with John's point, where he may not be the most attractive, whatever it is, he did have the charm. He did have like the charisma. He did have the accolades. And so if that's what got me you in the first place, that ain't gone nowhere. So even if I fall off visually, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if I fall off visually, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what got you. You know, like I think of people like who, and the issue is, John, I think a lot of women, that's not a poor statement. There are a certain bracket of women who, let's be very clear, they only care about money.
Yeah.
They only care about money. They don't really care about how you look. They will do any and everything to secure a guy with money. And he can almost get away with murder because he has that money. And that's not going no place. So he had to let himself go. He was let go when I met you. I got you because I had the money. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that to your point, I agree, John. I do think men have another attribute that will secure me a woman that women don't have. Because for us, everything begins with how you look. Everything. And it may not keep you, don't get me wrong, because the men leave good-looking women all the time. But it damn sure will help. It will damn sure make that decision very difficult. Like with a woman who puts effort in their appearance, like you like, shoot. Like you'll just be like, you know, like
not
unless I'm confident I can
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, but
no, I'm saying unless I'm confident I can secure another good-looking women who look as bad as you. You know what I'm saying? Like
you can't do what you did with the truck and go down.
You can't never.
Right.
You gotta go up.
That's good.
That's my point. Like,
yeah, I got you.
No, but
I was another GMC. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, geez. I was getting ready to say, and not just the level of effort towards like physically. I'm talking about like for me, can you make me laugh? Like, can we laugh together? Can we like banter together? Can we do like, you know what I'm saying? Like charismatic things together. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you go tick for tack with me type thing? Or
Yeah.
even in a sense of like effort towards, paying attention to my love languages. You know what I'm saying? Paying attention to me, like wanting me. Are you showing effort towards the fact that you want me for me? You know what I'm saying? So that level of attraction that we looking for, yeah, it starts physical, but it's so much more than that. And I will leave the best looking chick that I've ever had for somebody that can meet me in those other areas, because those are like those way more. You know what I'm saying? Those last longer. And those are the things that I will experience every day, whether I could physically see you or not. Those are the things I'm gonna be thinking about in the back of my head. Like, yo, I get to go home to that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Looks will not sustain a relationship. They just won't.
Yeah.
I actually, you guys have me thinking. I really agree with a lot of what you guys are saying, because I'm thinking back. I'm thinking about too, like what matters the most, right? Like, yes. And the thing about men is that we love looks. Like, we love, like, man, look at that. Oh, look at this. Oh, whoa, look at that. Oh, you know what I mean? We love that. But we don't rant and rave about the personality. But what keeps us is the personality. It's so funny, because it's like
it's so true.
It's funny. I'm listening to us talking like, this is crazy. Because I'm look like, if you didn't look at the Tom Brady's and all the people that getting a divorce right now, publicly, in the NFL and all that other stuff. It's like it was it was somebody else that was very public that we
Nia Long, the whole thing.
Nia Long, and they were already I think separate. But either way, the bottom line is, like, it's not about the looks, right? Like it's what's the name? Tia. That was who I was thinking.
Tia Mowry,
yeah.
I mean, J-Lo's been what?
Man, J-Lo has been she's been killing.
You're not gonna say
right?
She's not ugly. Like it's
not ugly. Shoot, Jennifer Aniston. She ain't never get nobody at the what's the name?
Brad Pitt. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was it. That was her only one. So it's like, it really cements the idea of, like, yeah, I mean, so we open this door of you feeding my visual appetite, but it's almost like, are we even saying that that's what, I mean, yes, that matters, because I'm trying to put a button in it, but I'm like, when we open the door of personality to the same conversation of visual appetite, well, what matters more?
I think personality will always matter more. Like I said again, I can only speak for me. I will always say, a man will never understand what happened to a woman's body, because we can't birth children, and is the change that happened to a woman's body because of that is almost like, I'm not gonna say it's no going back, but I think a lot of times we also see celebrities and see other people and don't understand, like, what we don't understand, that they are also there's different things that go into that aspect, like metabolism, like body history. There's like this science behind it. While certain women, whatever it was, I don't even care about that. I legitimately care about effort. However you are shaped and however you are packaged, do you do the best for your partner to make sure like my husband, my man, is going to see me dimed out no matter how I'm packaged. And he's going to know, like, I really want I want to walk out of the bathroom or walk out. We get ready to go out someplace, go on a trip. I want to walk out and my husband is like, dang.
Yeah,
like,
double taking. Yeah,
double taking.
Taking it all in.
Because legitimately, a man could be with you 10, 15, 20 years. And your effort, and you get the same look that I gave to you day one because of your effort. Like, it's almost like time ain't passed. Surely time is not passed. I still got that, like, you still got that look when you, like, I get into we comfortable, like, you in the house, I get that. But when you do it up, when you, and I think when you recognize, for men, when she does it up, I think a lot of times it's also like shining her on that moment. Like letting her know, like, yo, shorty, you did that. Like, you did that. Like, her seeing that reaction, like, oh shoot, this kind of praise feels good. Let me do this often. Let me do this often. So it's almost like meeting the need and like make sure we're connecting. But to me, it's really all about effort. I'm competitive. I don't like honestly. Like I mean, look, I didn't have hair when I had hair when I first, met. I had hair. I don't have
You had
hair.
hair? I'm joking.
Shut up.
Yeah.
And so
you never had hair, guys.
I'm like,
Eat your words.
however, you can't Father Time. You can't beat Father Time, and a woman can't beat Father Time. You know what I'm saying? So just like, but what I got,
effort for you could be putting like some
no.
put like some
No.
hair
Draw
brush.
a little airbrush.
No.
That's effort.
Effort
Or
for
drawing
me
a-
is
drawing a shape up or
making
something.
sure I keep do something to this
Hey,
beard.
that's what you want.
Hey, Shar.
Yo, what up, Shaw?
What up, Shar?
See. Yeah,
Effort
that's
for
funny,
me
man.
is like, making sure I
Yeah.
like, all right, it's been 2 weeks. My beard's looking real grizzly. Real
Yeah.
grizzly.
So another example, and I'm gonna try to end it here too, of like effort, right? From it, so the level of effort that I would like to see is like if you are struggling in your areas that are like when it comes down to your weight and stuff like that, but I see you working out every day. I see you like making healthy choices regarding your food and stuff like that, and putting towards effort in that area. I'm not necessarily going to be like, yo, like why you not losing weight fast or nothing like that. First, like that
There's
is
other
shallow.
factors.
Those are
very shallow.
shallow moments, right? That you take into consideration. But like if I see that you actually like care about yourself
work in.
enough to want to
Yeah.
at least put the work in to try to do something towards it, right? And whether
Yeah.
you see a change or not, whether we see a change or not, it's like, yo, like that is
That's
more
effort.
attractive. That is
That's
more
effort.
attractive than anything.
And you know what's so funny? I'm sorry. I'm gonna say this, and I know people are gonna be mad. I hate when
He's
people be
pointing,
like,
y'all.
people be like, or people, and it's always them hating single haters to be like, don't do it for him, do it for yourself. Nah, shorty, do it for him. Legit, do it for literally do it for him. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand that mindset of why would you not want to lose it for him? Like, why would you like if you think like what I'm saying is why is that a bad thing? Because I'm
I
like,
hear what you're saying. I'm glad you got there. Because
'Cause
you're
I'm like-
basically trying to say don't color it negative that you're doing something for your man. That's what
For
you're
your-
trying to
your
say.
partner.
It's okay to do it for him. Yeah.
Yes, that's where you were getting to.
That's-
I
that
was
is-
worried for you.
Yeah, I
was
was too. I'm like,
I'm like, please get to the where you're trying to go.
I'm
The
trying to say. So
destination.
look,
You
let me be
like,
very clear.
do it for
There's been-
him.
There are
yourself.
plenty of times where dudes will legitimately like I for myself
Oh my God.
like I make enough money. Like I made enough money for me. I made enough money for me, right? But when I went back to grad school and when I didn't do that for me, like make no, I'm trying to like make more money, like to make sure this happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why that's a bad bad thing.
to be a better supporter for my family, to be a better supporter for you, to be able to get you these things. You know what I'm saying? Like part of it is for me, but some of it is for you, so I can.
No, I ain't hold you back. All of that was none of that was for me. I was comfortable. I was good. I legitimately was good. I didn't do any of that for me. None of it.
What are you talking about?
When I went to grad school, I did not do any of that for me. None of it. Not like I'm happy now. Don't get me wrong. Like I benefited.
You make good money. Okay.
Sure. I could have cared less. I was extremely comfortable. I was comfortable in my apartment. I was good.
But
like,
you did that
so
for...
I did it for my wife. I legitimately did that for my legitimately. 100%. Like, and
how long was grad school for you?
Actually, I was only in grad school really for like a year and a half. Like it was a little bit, maybe like 18 months. I wasn't even in there for that long.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. I mean, it's not. It wasn't like it was 5 years, 4 years.
Well, I'm just saying, but it's not even just grad school. It's even like sometimes like wanting to like apply for higher paying jobs and like work more, work longer hours or whatever it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think people need to equate the level of even that level of effort that a husband will put in for his wife. A lot of that is I'm doing that for you. Like I'm not I can make enough money. Like the running joke is, I never knew how much money I would never have until I got married. like legitimately. I've seen people say, well, like, why am I single? Because these single date nights is much more affordable than these couple date nights. When I take myself out, I don't spend that much money.
I gotta pay for two every time.
Like, I gotta buy 2 meals, 2 drinks. Like, like you and you want
kids.
Oh.
Don't have kids. 100, 130, 150 each time you dropping. So I don't know. Again, I don't know how we got here. The topic today was: are you feeding my visual appetite? Somehow we got on grad school, and are you paying for your wife's way or whatever? I don't know what we're doing anymore. Okay, at the end of the day, we are trying to aim to talk about making sure. One of the things I think resonated with me at least is the effort. Are you putting the effort in? Like to Mike's point that he said, yes, you may not lose weight, you may not see the immediate results, but the fact that you're putting the work in to lose weight, which is one of the common things that happens in most marriages, especially if you have kids. So it's like, put the work in, right? And you'll see the end result. And even if you don't see the end result, the work is important. So it's important. And thank you when she says women are super visual, which I didn't agree with or know until this podcast episode where Terrence was like, nah, John, they visual too. So we are equally visual. We want to see what's going on, right? So that's just something that we have learned from today's podcast. But the bottom line is, guys, when we're having these conversations, we want to open the door of conversation about what is the whole appetite, and are we making sure that we're pleasing each other through putting in the effort, right? Like I like one thing that Mike Ortiz, I forget who said it, but like, are you taking her out, right? Like to dress up or whatever the case may be. Is that effort on the man's part? Like, so she doesn't feel so comfortable or have to feel like, oh, I don't go nowhere, so I'm not gonna stay comfortable, whatever the case may be. It's like, yes, some gray sweatpants got to be burned, man, and yeah,
no,
all the things. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for listening to this podcast today.
Our season, it is our season, Kings rise.
Okay, with gray sweatpants.
I don't know why this is happening. Nobody wants to see gray sweatpants. But thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. Please make sure, if you can, to say, hey, bottom line, we love the podcast on iTunes, on whatever platform. You can even say it if you want on Instagram, and just share the stuff that we put out on content. We just need you guys to help us in terms of getting visibility on various platforms. Other than that, is there anything else you guys want to add to this particular episode?
No.
Nah, I'm just.
I don't know what's going on.
I love it. I love it.
Send me that video.
I love it.
This is getting X-rated. All right, so I guess after 10 o'clock it gets nasty.
Yeah,
Guys, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. My name is John.
My name is Mike.
And I'll be lashing out.